Welcome everyone to our wellness masterclass with myself and Katarina Mannheimer Ahlström. And this is our first one that we're doing together, and I know there'll be many more. So before we got on, there was technical hitches and so forth. So I know people are a bit wound up. So I'm going to start with a little meditation just to bring us back to our centers. And it doesn't matter if you're watching the replay, whether you've arrived curious, tired, overwhelmed, or simply needing something nourishing right now. You're in the right place. So please sit in a comfortable position with an elongated spine and your feet firmly planted on the ground. Allow your hands to float down to your lap and gently bow your head to take the pressure off your spine and also to bow to the God within. Allow your eyes to float closed and slowly allow your body to relax. Relax, relax, relax. Just focus on your breath with your mouth closed, breathing in divine love and breathing out divine love. Scanning your body from head to toe, noticing any signs of stress or tension, and just simply, with each in-breath, send it to those areas, or ask that this breath may be sent to exactly where it's needed so that a divine healing can take place. Just allowing your breath to love, nurture, and comfort you. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Noticing the temperature of your upper lip and your nostrils as you breathe in this divine love. Maybe slightly cooler. And then as you breathe out, notice the temperature once more. Maybe slightly warmer. Let your shoulders soften and drop them away from your ears. Just slowing down your breath. You've got nothing to fix, nothing to change. Just simply be here. Be present for yourself. This is where the healing begins. When you feel safe enough to be present. Just notice that warm, fuzzy feeling. Feeling the love, feeling the light. And just coming home to yourself, feeling comfortable in your body. And then become aware of the chair that you're sitting on. Your feet on your floor. And maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. and slowly opening your eyes and returning to the present moment, becoming aware of the room and everyone on the call. And welcome to those who have just arrived. Katarina and I are looking forward to creating a safe space for each and every one of you so that you can melt down any barriers you may have put around your heart. So tonight's talk is about self-love. We're not talking about ego or self-indulgence. Self-love is ability to be with yourself kindly, gently, honestly, and accept who you are, the beautiful, divine God, goddess. And you are perfect just the way you are. You are enough. And self-love is about listening to your body, honoring your emotions, and choosing what supports your well-being. Because oftentimes people think self-love, we beat ourselves up, we berate ourselves. And how I like to say to people, think of your best friend or a family member or a pet. How do you love and nurture that favorite person or animal in your life? And this is how you should be treating yourself, with kindness and respect, and look at the whole picture holistically with mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual, and social as well. So, sometimes we're with people that we love and they might push our triggers and we get all uptight. We must see them as a gift and use that moment to see, what am I harboring within? If we're getting frustration or anger, irritability, this is us harboring it. It is not them. So in your mind, you can be thanking them and just take a deep breath, which will help to ground and center you. And instead of reacting to a situation, you can calmly say what you have to say to them. And this is something that needs to be cultivated. And self-love is so much more than this. And I know what Katarina would say, and I would love you to share it with the others and let them know what self-love means to you.
Well, self-love actually means I think this is why we are on earth, to learn to love ourselves. And it actually means to me to embrace all of our humanity. Because when we get into unforgiveness of ourselves and others, we actually shut down the connection with the divine. So, as I see it, embracing everything you are, including the ego, forgiving yourself when you're off. We're here in the world to get experiences rather than anything else. It is a soul that is accumulating experiences on earth. And just loving yourself through every experience, just like Beverly says, thinking of yourself as if you were someone you really, really love, and give yourself that love as well. So I think that actually self-love is the same thing as alignment, because when we radically find a place to love ourselves, we also align with the universe. We become generous, we become loving, and we finally fall into service. So self-love for me is actually the key to everything, and also the key to healing, because loving yourself with everything you are not with the potential that you maybe will become a better person and then you can love yourself. No, love yourself now, exactly as you are. Be grateful that you are on earth and be grateful for what the universe gives to you in terms of this experiences, because as I see it, every relationship you have is actually a reflection of the energy or possibly the disalignment that is going on inside of you. There might be a trauma to be healed. There might be a thought pattern to realign or to change or upgrade. So everything we experience is information to help us actually forgive, heal, and love ourselves better.
Yes, and I totally agree. And it's all about alignment with all that is. And it's about self-awareness, being in tune with ourselves, knowing when
Mhm.
we get upset or anxious and acknowledging our feeling. And it's okay to have a bad hair day. It's okay. We don't have to be happy and smiling day in, day out. It's all about being able to just send someone back in. It's about being able to accept ourselves, because with acceptance becomes peace of mind. And with acceptance, um, we we grow. We can see people for who they truly are. We can see the God within that person. And, when we're all uptight, it's like the fight and flight response. Everything is wired up, and you can't make calm, clear decisions when you come from that space. And for me, self-love, starts with a daily basis, because I believe we are divine beings living in a physical body. And I think we have to, respect and love and honor what I call my temple, this beautiful body. And, I start my day with some meditation. I'm not reaching for the phone to check any messages. I'm allowing nature to guide me and move through me. And this is a good way of lifting your vibration. And also, I do a breath meditation. I know Katarina does Kundalini breath yoga, and everything is about, connecting with that divine love within.
Mm.
And this will start the day in a place of homeostasis and harmony. And what I've learned is that when we stop fighting ourselves, the body and the nervous system calm and relax the mind, and healing can begin. And this is a wonderful way to start our day, so that we can start calmly and be aware of our divineness and let everything flows. And Katarina, since you mentioned alignment first, you might want to talk about alignment.
Hmm. Well, alignment is actually very connected to creating your reality, creating your life, and we don't, and we receive the reality we align with. And we don't align really through anything else than through our being and through our feeling and our vibration, which is, our vibration is what is being seen in our radiance. When you come into a room, you're radiant in a certain way, and that is an expression of your vibration. So vibrating in a way that aligns with a life you would like to have comes first from self-love, and then it comes from really being what you want to experience in your life. And about 20 years ago, when I had just started the Journey Practitioners program, we were I was at a retreat called the Abundance Retreat with Brendan Bays. And we were taught how to create our life and to create our future from a couple of different aspects. How do I want to feel in my body? What am I grateful for, first and foremost? How would I like to be in my relationships? How would I like to be in my work situation? How do I see my home? How do I want my home to feel and be? What am I longing for? So I started to write this long list of things that I wanted in my life, but being a little lazy and practical, I started to record this wish for my life into my, at that time, a dictaphone, because it's over 20 years ago. And I started listening to my own meditation where I tell myself, what am I truly grateful for in my life? How do I want to feel in my body? How do I want to feel in my relationships? How do I want to feel in my work? In my, what am I really longing for in life? How do I want my home to be? And I started to make these recordings and listening to them every morning, just when I open my eyes, when I'm the closest possible to my ego-less self, because the left brain is still asleep. So I'm listening to this meditation, telling myself, how do I want to think about myself, feel about myself, relate to others, be in relation to others? What am I truly, truly grateful for in my life? And what do I want to make more of? What do I want to invite more? And I will say that this becomes the default for how I live my life. I start this way every day, and it really becomes the default. And every 6 weeks or so, I upgrade my personal meditation. And it has been a true blessing, because I have to say that most of the things that I have in that meditation, they happen sooner or later. And this is also how I work with my clients, that I help them make their own personal guided meditations. As a hypnotherapist, this is one of the things that I do.
That is beautiful. And yeah, for many years I've done similar as well. And, you've mentioned gratitude, you mentioned forgiveness, and it's gratitude is one of the highest vibrations. And, at the basis, we're at our very core, we're not our diagnosis, we're not our past, and we're not our fears or our disempowering beliefs. We are so much more. We are consciousness, we are energy, and we are divine love. And we all know that we're energy, and we're also electric beings, because if you go into hospital, you can have a heart ECG, you can see the recordings, or encephalogram, or for your muscles, an EKG, and so forth. And I know sometimes, we touch a car door or something, and it's like, oh, you have electric shock. And yeah, we're made up of, some people say, over 80% water, and water's H2O. So one of hydrogen, two of oxygen. And they're in our cells and atoms, and they're moving quickly, and this causes the friction, and this causes the energy. And unlike my cable here for the microphone, I don't know if you can see it, but you've all know cables, the vacuum cleaners, your computers, your hair dryers. We all know rubber cables. They have a rubber casing, so it keeps and contains the energy. But for us as humans, we've got our lovely skin, and it's the biggest organ in our body, and there's over 3 trillion pores, so openings. So this energy comes out, the energy field, which most of you know as auras. And then in the Indian tradition, particularly, they talk about the chakras, the spinning wheels of energy. You've probably all seen a picture of a big fat Buddha, with pictures of the chakras from the base to the crown of the head. So traditionally, there's 7 chakras, and they all represent different stages of our lives. So a lot of people think that our consciousness is born at birth, and that's in our base chakra, the root chakra. And there's so much evidence now to show that we are energetic, conscious beings, and that this wonderful, our creator, the divine force, is living within us. You know, it's living inside us and all around us. And it's about, you know, when you allow time to slow down and pause, this is when you're going to feel that lovely divineness, that oneness, because we're living in a fast-paced world and everybody's in the busy mode. Recently, I was driving in the country lanes, and when I started driving here, because in Europe I didn't drive for about 15 years, the friend who took me out driving, who's nearly 90 now, he's got a lead foot. So, of course, I now have a lead foot. So I go too fast. And the country lanes are like this. And my partner was white knuckles. So he's like, slow down, Dawn. He calls me Dawn, slow down. And there were signs then saying, slow down. And the universe, all these synchronicities, it talks to us. So we have to listen. Anyhow, I thought, Katarina, you've mentioned a bit about your work and what you do. Maybe you can tell everybody about your healing journey with your breast cancer, and then I'll follow on.
Yes. I will do it quite quickly because we have 15 minutes left, so a 5-minute one. I was diagnosed with a malignant breast tumor, breast cancer tumor, 5.5 years ago. It was in the beginning of COVID. It was during that first wave that I was diagnosed. I discovered a lump in the mirror, basically, and went to the doctor the day after. And because of COVID, there were almost no visitors at the doctor's office. So I got an appointment for a biopsy the same day. And a week later, I had the results. I actually didn't think it was anything malignant, and the doctors didn't think that either. They said it didn't look like a typical tumor. But a week later, I got my diagnosis that I had a malignant tumor in my left breast. And I got an operation time just 12 days after my diagnosis. Because of COVID, I was so afraid to get a cold or to get COVID and miss my appointment because I really wanted this lump taken out of my body. I felt that very strongly. So I isolated myself in my psychotherapy office. I moved away from the apartment where I lived with my husband for until the day of the operation. And because I work as a hypnotherapist and a journey practitioner and therapist, I decided to do everything that I do with my clients on myself. During this time, I decided to make this into a silent retreat where I deeply, deeply dove into self love. When fear came, I allowed fear to really be felt in my body until it was done with me. And then I did not seek out any type of fear or negativity. I worked to raise my vibration and to calm my nervous system because I felt my best friend in this situation would be to sleep well, to nourish my body well, to calm my nervous system so that my immune system can fight this disease, and to use visualizations, which I did. I saw this tumor shrink. I also did many, many journey style hypno sessions with myself. And I did this with a journey practitioner colleague of mine, and I also did it myself. And I studied what you can eat to sort of counteract cancer, you know, cut out sugars. And I became a vegan because my breast cancer was estrogen based. So I tried to lower the rate of estrogen in my body. So I lived extremely healthily. And when 2 weeks had passed, I went, or when 2 weeks had passed, I went to have my surgery. Excuse me. And a week later than that, I went back to the doctors, and they said that my tumor had shrank 90% in 2 weeks. So when they took my tumor out, there was almost no cancer left. It had not spread, only 1% cancer left. Excuse me. And today I'm completely well. I just have a little cough, but I'm completely well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And my journey was quite similar to Katarina's. Like in a few weeks, I'd lost loads of weight. I was manic, I wasn't sleeping, and I had a health and wellness center in Rose Bay in Sydney. And I I went to a quantum physics doctor, I went to an Ayurvedic doctor, and I went to naturopaths, homeopaths, everybody for about a few weeks. And then a friend of my partner's was a doctor, and he started a new center and suggested that I go to his center and have the scans. And that's when we discovered I had a large tumor on my thyroid and a massive tumor on each of my ovaries, which was the size of a boiled egg, the three tumors. And a friend came to visit, and her husband was one of the top oncology researchers in Australia at the time. And like you, Katarina, I got pushed through. I seen the GP, endocrinologist, oncologist, and the all the tests that you can imagine. I was like a pincushion, and all the blood tests, all the markers was crazy. They wanted me rushed into hospital, but instead I said, I've already booked a holiday next week, and I did a self-retreat for myself on holidays with the British Lions tour, with friends, with laughter, with good healthy food, lots of outdoors and being in nature, and using essential oils, listening to meditations, and we had loads of pampering and self-love meditations and so forth. So I knew when I got back, they said, had all the same tests and everything was cleared. So I kept going every 3 months for my 3 monthly checkup. And on the third one, it was like, oh no, you know, it's still going, and I realized I was getting stressed before each visit. Then my Reiki master said to me, why are you stressed? And I told her, no, I don't need to be stressed. All my markers are clean. And she said, just bury the story. So that was nearly 20 years ago, and I'm still fit and healthy. So now, Katarina, I would like to invite you to take us on a lovely meditation
Yeah.
and alignment.
So just take a deep breath and fill your lungs with calmness and relaxation. And just let this calmness reach your heart, soften your heart, your physical heart. And let this relaxation softly fall into your arms, your upper arms, your elbows, underarms, your hands, and those beautiful fingers that do so much work for you. And just let this soft, beautiful relaxation fall into your stomach. Soften all the organs in your stomach. Just feel that you send your organs love, light, calmness. And let this relaxation now softly wander into your sexual organs, softening them, loving them, thanking them. And let the relaxation fall into your legs, your thighs, your hips, your knees, your calves, ankles. And let it fall into your feet. It carries you so beautifully through life. And just let this deep relaxation now start climbing up through your throat, relaxing your neck, relaxing your throat. Let the relaxation reach your jaws that carry so much tension on a daily basis. Let the relaxation sneak behind your nose, inside of your ears, on the back of your eyes, behind your eyes, and from a point in the middle of your skull, right under the crown chakra. Let your focus wander into the left side of your brain, that busy mind that is so full of planning, comparing, social positioning, problem solving. It loves to solve problems. Just let it know that there's nothing to solve right now, nothing to do, nothing to plan, nothing to achieve. Just be. And imagine yourself putting a beautiful etheric blanket over the cells in your left hemisphere, putting them to rest as if they were little children that needed a nap. So while the left hemisphere goes to sleep for a little while, just focus your attention on that little dot in the middle of your skull for a little while. And let your attention wander into the right hemisphere of your brain, the home of your intuition, your dreams, your presence in the here and now, your inborn self-love, and the deep wisdom that resides inside of you. Allow the wisdom that is available for you in the universe to come flooding, and just expand your consciousness now. Let it grow. And now imagine yourself standing in front of a door that goes into your inner temple. And when you open this door, you enter this sacred, safe space of your inner temple, your heart. And just imagine that there is a beautiful couch in this inner room. And imagine that you sit down on this couch. And for a moment, you place your hands on your heart, asking yourself, if I had a wish, if everything was possible, if my heart desired some kind of state, some kind of belief about who I am in the world, what would be the highest, the loveliest, the most constructive way that I could think and feel about myself? And just let your heart speak to you. And see what it wishes for. What is the highest frequency? What is the highest timeline in terms of how I feel about myself? Maybe there are a few words that come to mind. Maybe it's total self-love. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's abundance. Just see what comes to mind. And now just invite a strong, positive feeling that is associated with this word that came up for you. So if it was self-love, for example, what is the feeling of self-love? Invite it. Teach your body how to feel it. Align with it. And just stay in this wonderful feeling. Incorporate it, harbor it. Exercise it. Let your body get used to it. And now just see yourself a month from now, still being in this state, still being aligned with how you want to feel and think about yourself in this world. And invite gratitude, a deep sense of gratitude for the alignment to the life you desire. And now you can softly imagine yourself getting up from that couch. And you open the door to your innermost room. And you climb out, knowing that this change has been for real. And you can open your eyes now when you're ready. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. So
it has been a blessing to be with you. And before we could conclude here, we will invite you with all of our hearts to our retreat in Byron Bay on the 27th of February until the 4th of March. You are all so welcome, and you can get in touch with Beverley or myself on email, and you can go into our respective websites and get in touch with us. So heartfelt welcome and heartfelt thank you for today.
Thank you.